Well, hello, my lovely dishers. It is time to dish with D. It is Saturday, the 5th of February. Oh my God, the 5th of February already. Oh, February flies by, it does. And it is Saturday, and you know what that is. It is the time for the WW topic du jour and my weekly weigh-in. How I toned that one down. My weekly weigh-in. All right, I did not go in to weigh in because there was ice this morning. Well, I didn't know how it was going to be. Let's put it that way. They were predicting ice this morning. And I'd have to get up at 7, no, actually, a little before 7 to get up there because my meeting's 25 minutes away. And I just made the decision last night not to go, not for any reason other than the ice. I just, it's not worth it to me to drive 25 minutes in ice and stress for a weigh-in. I'm not at the point where if I really need a meeting, I can do a Zoom. I'm pretty far down on my journey that I just like to see the people more than anything else. So I did get weighed here, and my scale, I have to add a pound because, actually I don't have to add a pound, but it's better to add the pound and then go to Weight Watchers and the scale will be up. Wait a minute, it's been, before. But yes, my scale is a pound. Theirs is a pound heavier than mine. I should say mine is. So I have to add a pound for my scale just to keep it kosher with WW. So I did get on the scale today and I am down 3 weeks in a row. 0.2. You can sit there and say, D, that's not really a loss. In my book, it is. When it's a different number, it's a loss. You know what? I'll take it. I will take anything. And for me, 0.2s are pretty good. Like I said, at this weight, it's hard for me to pull off more than that. It truly is. When you're down to the last nitty gritty, you're not going to it's hard to pull a 1 pound or 2 pound weight loss off. I'd have to legit starve. And your girl's not doing that. Not doing it. So yeah, when you get down to the last 10 pounds, it's pretty slow, and it's rare that you get more than a 0.2 or 0.4. If you're getting a pound and a half, tell me your secret. I kind of think you're not eating. Because just from experience, I've been doing this for quite a while now. Like I said, I've been off and on WW since 2013. I've been on the last 5 plans. I've pretty much been consistent more than I've been off. I've been on more than I've been off. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this girl's not starving. Now, lose it like you're going to live it, people, and I'm not. Because here's the thing. You could starve and lose the weight, and then when you eat regular, you'll gain it back. Reality check. So just do the best you can. Eat your points. Eat good food. And enjoy it. So let's get to the topic. How perfectionism can get in your way. Well, I don't know much about this topic because if you watch me, you know me, I am not perfect. I don't even try to be perfect because you know what? I think you have a personality that you go towards perfectionism. I don't have that personality. I kind of wish I sort of did. In a way, I would feel I would get, I just don't. So it's kind of, I'm not going to relate to this topic very well. So I apologize now if I say anything that's you might not agree with. And like I said, you're not here to agree with me. You're here to hear my take on the topic, and you have your take. And this is not, like I said, I'm not preaching to you, and this is what's right. This is what works for me, and I share that. So let's put that out there to the masses. Okay? All right, let's see what they say about perfectionism that I know nothing about. Try this. Stop striving for perfection by seeking what you have in common with someone you look up to. Do not look up to, I get you look at somebody and you go, wow, I want to be them. Look at how good they do on their journey. But remember, you have to take people's personalities into effect. We're all different. And I always think with YouTube for the masses has really brought out everybody's compulsives, or what they're compulsed to do. There are people who have cleaning channels because they're clean freaks. So yeah, they're going to make videos about cleaning because that's what they do. They're a little obsessed with it. So you have to take into consideration who you're watching and what their compulsion is, and don't get so hung up on that. Oh, look at her. Look what even with me, don't look at me and say, oh my God, you don't want to be like me. You want to be like you. And that's what a journey is. It's showing what you're willing to do and sacrifice in order to get your weight loss journey where it needs to be and what you're willing to change. And baby steps is what I always say. Don't think you can sit there, I'm going to do these the magenta plan. You can't just wake up one day and decide to do the magenta plan. That was something that I evolved into, and you will evolve into your plan. It may be sort of like the magenta plan. You will see what foods work for you and what don't, and what you could have and what you can't. And that will, it's only trial and error. So don't look at somebody and say, I want to be like them. As flattering as that is to me, you want to be like me. I love that. But be you, because that's the only person you could really be. And that's the person you could, that will be successful. Because being somebody else never, ever works. It doesn't. You can't sit, I don't like when you watch a YouTube person, and I'll just take that because I don't know why that's a tough forefront of my head. But you look at them and sometimes you just, oh, wow, look at what they do, what they accomplish. They're filming it. So they're telling you only the good things. Remember, there's a whole other life that you're not seeing. Remember that. Don't ever think what you see is ever the whole picture, because it normally isn't. I'll just put that out there to the masses. So yeah, so I think we're so hung up on what we see that we forget that it's a video and there's editing involved, and people only tell you what they want you to know. They don't tell you everything, as they shouldn't. But you got to watch. Sometimes it's almost like you're watching a story or a television show, because, people want views. So they're going to sit there and tell you anything to get you to watch. So always remember that, All right. Pick someone you admire. You don't have to know them. List the qualities and values you value most about them. Find 3 and share. Describe a setback they've faced. Think about a similar challenge you've been or going through. Take time to reflect. We're all human, just like we share strengths. We also share struggles and experiences and setbacks. That's universal. I don't know anybody out there that life is perfect. I mean, if they're pretending it's perfect, it never is. They're just, again, telling you what they want you to know. Remember, we've been through life. We know life sucks most of the time. I tell my boys that all the time. Life sucks pretty much most of the time. You just got to make the best lemonade from those lemons that you can. It might not be perfect. It might be a little sour sometimes. But, you just do the best you can. Let's dive a little deeper, Miss Kristen. Everyone wants to do well, but striving for perfection can easily get in the way of your goals. It can make you less likely to try new things, like moving more and eating healthier, because you're worried your efforts won't be good enough. Sometimes we worry about what the scale says, and we put everything into that. So when the scale doesn't move, we think what we did was horrible and wrong. And it never is. It's just it's so hard to take the emphasis off the scale, but sometimes you have to. Most times you have to. And when we encounter a challenge, you might stop trying to reach for your goals or keep working towards the same goal over and over again. Can you say burnout? Yeah, if you're not hitting, again, sometimes we set unrealistic goals for ourselves. We'll say, I want to lose 25 pounds in 3 months. It sounds easy enough, but as you start this journey, you realize it's not. Giving up your favorite foods, and I shouldn't say giving up, should I? No. Curtailing your favorite foods. Never give up anything. You should never say, I can't eat this. Maybe you can say, I could have some of this, but I can't have all of this. Instead of having a bowl of ice cream, have a half a cup. Be surprised when you measure something, how you could fit it into your program. And you should never be doing without, because if you're sitting there all week thinking, I want that, I want that, I want that, you're going to go and eat the whole half gallon of ice cream. Had you just had the half a cup a couple times a week, you'd been fine. Again, progress. You can't expect to wake up tomorrow and not want your favorite high sugary foods. You can't sit there enjoying Weight Watchers and think, oh, I'm never going to have cake. I'm never going to have ice cream. I'm never going to have cookies. Oh, you're going to have them. Let me tell you that. You're going to have them. And if you don't fit them in or find a way to make them lighter, you're going to gorge on them. Been there, done that. Yep, I originally started my journey like that. Never eating those kinds of foods thinking, oh, I can't have that. I'm on Weight Watchers. My hair's sticking up. It's morning. Yeah, you can. I tweak things. A lot of my recipes, I like to call them hacks. They're just little tweaks in a recipe that it takes out a high point ingredient and substitutes it, but it still has that same flavor that you're looking for. And it hits that, I always say the note. It's the note of the cookie. It's the note of the cake that you want. You know, do I have that texture? Do I have that taste? Yes. So it hits the notes. You're not craving that high point desserty treat. And, you know, say what you want about bars, but man, they come in handy when you want a sweet treat. When you want, people say, why do we fill bars? Because I can't afford a candy bar, but I could afford 4 points for one. And look at the size of this. Seriously, for 4 points, it's covered in dark chocolate. Yes, this is what gets me through. It is progress. It is progress. It is not perfect. My life will never be perfect. And honestly, like I always say, perfection is overrated. There's nobody out there. If they're telling you that things are great and fabulous, they're not. I mean, you know, or what did they get to that point to be great and fabulous? What? We don't see the background of that. We don't see all the dead bodies in there that they got to, like, oh, it's so great. It's all great. We're all happy. It's all great. No, life sucks pretty much most of the time. It does. And I tell it, and my boys have, you know, like, they're like, yeah, you're right. It does. You know, you watch other people. Well, why do they? You're just seeing a part of what you see from people. You're not seeing the full picture. So never believe, like I tell them, never believe everything. Like, there's more to that story. Always is. That's why treating yourself like you would a friend is so helpful and important. By seeing the similarities you have with someone you admire, you remind yourself that you too are human and humans face roadblocks. The important part of picking yourself up and getting back on track is here and now. Do not wait for tomorrow. If you've had a bad meal, end it there. I mean, you know, the next meal you're back on track. If you went out to breakfast with a friend and decided to get the cream chip beef on toast with home fries and ketchup, which is one of my favorite breakfasts, and you really didn't allow the points for that, and you're like, oh, I really messed up. I had that. It's probably 30 points for that breakfast. It may be, but you know what? It doesn't mean lunch and dinner have to be messed up either. You get right back on track. You might not even eat lunch with a high point breakfast like that. You might be full for the most of the day. But if you're hungry at lunch, don't sit there and say, I'm not going to have lunch because I had a high point breakfast. If you're hungry, you need to eat. I'm not saying go out eat and eat a sandwich, but you can have yourself a beautiful little salad. You can have yourself a piece of avocado toast. You can have yourself, my favorite is, you know, a rice cake with powdered peanut butter mixed and some fruit. Good. And it kind of hits that note, and it keeps your body metabolizing. The less you eat, the less your body metabolizes and it shuts down. So the more, that's why, especially for diabetics, it is told that you should have 6 small meals a day so you can process those foods much easier than just giving yourself big meals. Your body has a hard time processing large amounts of food. So if you give it small amounts, it actually burns better, and you probably will feel better. I do know what I'm talking about. I was a registered medical assistant for many years before I had children. Yeah, I 12 years I worked in a doctor's office. I was the RMA there, and when I think about how I multitask there, I don't think I could do it now, but yeah. So I do have a health background. So I don't think I've ever I might have said that before, but all right, recipe of the week, which I always seem to forget to mention, is roasted curried beets with chive ricotta. You know your girl loves beets. I don't know what it is about beets, and roasting your own beets. Oh, this looks amazing. I love ricotta, as we would say. Oh, I'm not sure about the curry though. I don't love curry. I don't hate it, but I don't know if I would choose curry. I don't know what I'd choose, but maybe basil, but I don't think I would choose curry. But, you know, it's 4 points. Ugh, 4 points. What the heck are the 4 points for? Beets are 0 for me, so I'm not sure what the 4 points for. 1 point for a cup of non-starchy veg. Are beets a non-starchy veg? Are you stinking kidding me? Oh, no, you gain a point. Sorry about that. I spoke too soon. 4 teaspoons of olive oil, 6 points. There you go. Parts skimmed ricotta, 2/3 is 9 points. There you go. How many? Serving size 1. How much does it make? Serves 4. See, I would serve 1, and I would use, you know, a little less ricotta and a little less olive. I like to spray my olive oil in an olive oil sprayer. My girl Ellen, I love you, Ellen, hooked me up with this sprayer I've never seen before, and I adored it. It's almost like, you clean your windows with it. That's the only way I can describe it, but it sprays a great spray of olive oil. And I put it on, I spray my salads. It's perfect. And you definitely would use less oil that way. So you definitely could shave off points that way. And maybe use a fat-free ricotta. I don't mind the fat. It's hard to find, I will say that. But you can maybe use a little less than that of the ricotta, you know. Thin it out a little bit, you know, with a little bit of, you know, milk a little bit, make it a little bit thinner so it'll drizzle a little bit better. But beets are my jam. So I have really talked way too much about this recipe, but it looks here. I'll show it to you. There it is. It's all the recipes that they do are always listed on the WW app. They're app recipes that they put here. I don't have a card. I will get a card next week. Usually I have last week's card, so I have to get the last 2 weeks' cards. I like having the recipe cards. I make a book for, I think I've showed it. I've made a recipe book from them. But that is it today. Remember, people, perfection is overrated. So overrated. And when you set unrealistic goals, the fall is so much harder. Remember, this is a lifestyle. It is not a diet. And I say that all the time, and you have to fit great things in. Yeah, maybe I have to use high point regatta. It's life. You know what? And I can do that. And you have to be a little more flexible. You have points. My favorite thing is I see so many people talking about points and they leave points in the bank. That's a diet if you're leaving points in the bank. You're not getting that many. Think about it. You're not getting that many. So the fact that you leave points in the bank, I struggle with that. Just my olive oil alone that I use during the day. Yeah, I'm spraying it, but I'm still using it. So I still have to count it. It might be 1 point or 2 points, but you know, there's just different things. And you know, and I still have my candies and my chips because lifestyle. I'm going to eat chips for lunch. I'm going to have candy. I'm going to have cake. When you learn that early, the struggle becomes a little bit less. You know, when you sit there, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. You have to lose it like you're going to live it because you're going to want cake. Learn how to fit it in early. You have the tools. You have the power. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my take on the Weight Watcher topic of du jour, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below and become part of the community. Here at Dish with D, we are rocking weight loss here. We are killing it. We go live Sunday through Thursday here on the channel. You'd want to come for one of those lives. It's a lot of fun. 7 p.m. Eastern time. I will see you. I'm doing another meal prep. I just made a breakfast pizza. So if you like breakfast pizzas, watch my meal prep. It'll be up tomorrow afternoon. Have a great day, and we will dish another day, my folks.